Disneyland proudly presents.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of It Is Unlimited, a weekly Disney news and discussion podcast. In this week's episode, we are going to be talking about new details and information on Disneyland Forward projects, as well as the first ever Coco attraction and the new Avatar area ride. I don't know what it is. Coming to Disney California Adventure, we're also going to be talking about an economic report that Disney released, as well as Rock and Roller Coaster Muppets update. To help me through all of this, I am joined by Dreams Unlimited Travel Agent Hannah Anderson.
Oh, hey.
Dreams Unlimited Travel Agent... sorry, I cut to Chloe. I ruined the surprise. We've got Teresa Eccles. Oh, I did it again. My God.
What? What's the deal?
Well, for one, you're not sitting in the center of your shot right now.
She
Jeez.
was putting on her lips.
I was putting on my
she
gloss.
looked pretty for you.
My lips
Okay,
are dry.
we have, I don't even know your title anymore.
Theme
Biz
park correspondent.
Thank you very much.
Chloe Ferreira. Hey,
Okay.
howdy, hey.
Well, there were some trouble getting started here. The soundboard that I use in the studio died before, but I saw some very fun, supportive comments from one person in here in particular. Always love when people are nice and catty. I just want to remind everybody that this and everything that we do here is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel. They are experts at helping you plan the perfect Disney vacation, much better than I can do this podcast. DreamsUnlimitedTravel.com if you want that free, no obligation quote today. It is also brought to you by our Patreon supporters. If you're looking for another way to support us and you enjoy some bonus exclusive content, well, you're in luck. Or we're in luck, I guess, technically, because you want to support us. But we have a Patreon site where different members of the Diz team contribute in different and meaningful ways. Like we had a Patreon, we did a little pre-recording for I didn't explain it. God, I'm all over the place. Sorry. When equipment dies like this, and I'm just like, I'm a mess right now. But we are doing a live Patreon post show. If you want to be a part of that, that is our $5 and up tier. That is in... That is at patreon.com/DizUnlimited. And believe it or not, I actually have a script in front of me. It's just trying to read this. So I have a secondary soundboard I'm using right now, but it sounds different in my ears than the other one normally. And I don't know that it's synced correctly to the video either right now, but it is what it is. And I appreciate the live audience being here and bearing with me in this. It's unfortunate because we were all sitting here and we were all like ready to go, and then it just didn't work all of a sudden.
I have a very serious question for you. When did the possum show up on the bookshelf behind you? I don't think I've noticed him.
I brought him in with me this morning.
What's the story?
That's Lester.
Oh,
So
that's what I was guessing, but...
This weekend I went to Panama City Beach where my father and his wife had bought a house in the last month. They had just moved there 3 weeks ago before he died. And I went to the jiu-jitsu class that he was a part of, the community was a part of, held a memorial bonfire for him on the beach because he always joked that he wanted a Viking funeral and flaming arrows to be shot in the ocean. And we sure did get an arrow out into the ocean that was on fire. So we did it.
That was so cool.
And I got the chance to listen to everybody tell me what my father meant to them out on the beach. And then I gave a speech and could barely breathe while I was doing it. But I did it. And it was very emotional. It was really interesting to hear how much my dad meant to so many people, and really fascinating to me that they kind of talked about things that are always really important to me, like community, and one of the people there that said Bob, my father, was his best friend in the class. He told me that the last thing that Bob said before he died, was, can you show me that one more time? And it was because my dad, they were like, your dad always wanted to learn something new, and he was always trying to better himself, because he thought, it was a good example and to better him, the people around him. And I was like, I feel bad because it was sort of the thing where I was just like, oh, I'm always afraid that I won't grow anymore as I get older. And it was like, it's nice to hear that literally in my dad's like dying seconds was the last thing he wanted to do was learn to be more than he was. And so it was very good. It was very soul enriching. It was a beautiful area. He I can see why he moved there. It was like, this is right up his alley. If you've never been, it's interesting. I have never been to the Panhandle of Florida before. My God, it is a different world than it is here. Do you know that? Yeah.
That's where I was
what I've heard.
last week.
When people say Florida is part of the South, this
That
is the
part,
part of
yeah.
Florida they're talking about. Is that part near Alabama, or am I crazy?
It is.
Okay. Because there was a lot of people from Alabama there, and that's
Yeah.
why I was like, this is interesting.
I like Alabama.
I'd never been.
Wait, did you live in Alabama or you lived in Georgia?
I've never lived in Alabama. I've been through, got lost a couple of times, but
Oh.
I have friends
That
in
can turn
Alabama.
scary.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's true South. Like you
Everyone,
said.
they got the thick accents there. The thick
Right.
accents.
Gonna
Wouldn't
eat a
know anything
biscuit.
about
Gonna eat a
Biscuit.
biscuit. Gonna eat a biscuit.
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 And drink Coke.
Biscuit.
that. Yeah, only Coke.
Only Coke.
I do want to bring up something that we, on our last show, last week, Hannah wasn't here.
Thank
And, thank God.
I was in the Panhandle.
She
Florida.
was warming up the beach for me.
She
I
off.
was, yeah. I was fishing.
Yeah. I was going to make another joke, and I'm not going to do it. But,
It was successful.
Hannah, we talked a lot about the Piston Peak. Not the Piston Peak. The
You did what in your cup?
Piston Peak.
Yeah.
You did what in your peak?
That's coming to Magic Kingdom. That's what our Cars Land is going to be called.
Uh-huh.
And Hannah, I want you to give your opinion on it, because I read through a lot of the comments on the episode last week. I think that we're in the minority about not liking them getting rid of Rivers America and changing it into Cars, which is wild. So I'm gonna let her give her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to start with the negative.
Well, that's all the time we have. Okay.
Oh, come on. All right, let me give it to you fast.
perfect.
I'm excited about it. This is, to me, I think it's going to be improvement. I am sad to see Rivers of America go, but I do think that they listen, and then that's why we have this like water feature that we have. I think it's going to be more beautiful than what's there. I think it's going to like add dimension and life to that area. I'm hoping they do something cool with Mark Twain riverboats. I'm not sure what that looks like, but I hope we get to see it either here or Disneyland or something. I just hope it doesn't go to a random field and get destroyed. The one thing I am nervous about is that the reason I love Cars Land at DCA is because it is a literal representation of the movie. Like you were actually in Radiator Springs. It's the same reason why I don't really love Galaxy's Edge and Batuu. I'm not familiar with Batuu, but if you had built a literal Tatooine, I would freaking love it. But overall, I'm so excited about it. I think it's going to be improvement. I never get on the riverboat. I avoid Tom Sawyer's Island like the plague, even though my kid loves it. So for me, it's only going to add value going to the park. I'm actually really happy about it. I am way more excited than I am sad about it. Done. Yeah.
Peace be with you.
Yes.
But do you think it's in the correct place?
Yeah, actually I'm okay with it.
Do you?
I don't think it, like, surface level, I don't think it makes sense. Like, I would rather them have just done a copy and paste of Cars Land in Hollywood Studios. That would have been my preference number one. But this kind of theme works, I think, with Frontierland. And I was working on an article about Frontierland and Disneyland, and like our Frontierland's always not like Frontierland and Disneyland is just perfection. Like it just works, it makes sense. And so I don't know, I've just never really had a connection to our Frontierland. And I feel like with Tiana's Bayou Adventure, I feel like they did that ride dirty. Like there's no bayou to it. There's no like there's so many great things about like the rich culture of New Orleans, and we have none of that in Frontierland. So I'm like, you've already done that dirty. That like stretch of Frontierland, the walkway along Rivers of America, there's nothing there. Like it's just like wasted space. So I'm like, at this point, yeah, you might as well give me some attractions that are going to build value that I'm going to like have family memories with there. So and it's a huge space. So, yeah, we've got all this land, but I don't know. To me, this makes more sense than what they're doing in Muppets Courtyard, yet Animation
Amen.
Courtyard is still sitting there. So in the grand scheme of things, this makes more sense to me. I think it's going to be beautiful, too. Like the concept art that they've done.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be insane. It's just going to be, I mean, we were talking about this before the show. As an annual pass holder and a local, like the next couple of years are just going to suck here. So, and that's why all my vacations are going to be Disney cruises and Disneyland.
Oh, don't even.
I mean, as if they weren't already.
Disneyland.
But,
Sorry, I realized you would ask me a question and I didn't answer it.
Yeah, I was like, did you get the possum?
The possum
Panama
came
City?
from Panama City.
That checks out.
I went to a really cool brewery. If you're up that way, there's a really cool part in like old part of Panama City that's being like renovated or revitalized or something. But my friend Genevieve had gone with me for support, and we went to this like cool thing next to this place called History Class Brewing, which was great. Definitely recommend it. And there was a plush possum, and I was like, do I need this possum? Do I not? And she bought it for me. So I'm like, I'm Lester. I should have cut his tag off before I'm there, but I
don't
didn't.
know.
You don't
I
take
didn't.
tags.
I didn't. Yeah.
Minnie Pearl, you never take tags off.
I know.
Mini
I don't
Pearl.
know.
Stresses me
What's
out.
Minnie Pearl
It does
mean?
me too.
Minnie Pearl?
Minnie Pearl from
Oh my
Green
God,
Acres,
I am
right?
old. Minnie Pearl. You don't know who Minnie Pearl is?
No, you can keep saying it though.
Minnie Pearl.
Minnie Pearl.
She
Minnie
was-
Pearl.
Pearl.
Okay, it's a hee-haw reference. Okay, you don't know Minnie.
This is
Minnie,
the second hee-haw reference you've made today.
Minnie Pearl she was always on the Grand Ole Opry, and she always wore a hat, and her hat always kept the price tag hanging off the side. She never took the price tag off her hat. That was her gimmick.
Oh, you are Minnie Pearl. Wow.
You are Minnie Pearl.
Okay, well, I also think Teresa might be a time traveler from a different day and age. Is it like a sort of like a what was that movie with Christopher Reeve and Jane?
Oh my gosh, I love
Dr.
that.
Quinn. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Dr. Quinn.
Gosh.
Somewhere in time.
Somewhere in time. Yeah, that's what I feel like.
I
You
gotta
could
make me cry just thinking about that.
who is Dr. Quinn,
It's
Medicine
you.
Woman? What is her name?
It's
oh my God.
you. It's Jane Seymour.
Jane Seymour.
there
I
you
said
go.
Jane. I just couldn't remember the last name. Yeah.
I
love
just watched a
Christopher
movie with
Reeve.
her the other
remember
day.
anything.
She was not a time traveler, but she was living a past life, reliving a past life in her dreams.
She was on Smallville a little bit. She was pretty good. Anyway,
Good skin products.
So, Chloe, here's the thing. My script says, I want to talk about the closing of Muppet Vision 3D, and I do
Okay.
have a segue into what's coming after that. So just
Okay.
remember that part. But
Okay.
I want to give Chloe the floor on that. I'm just going to say, how was you were there,
The last day, June 7th.
laid her to rest. Yeah.
Yes, I did. I wrote a very lengthy tribute article just talking about a summary of the last day that's on www.info.com.
Never heard of it.
Poured my heart into it, and honestly, I got a little more emotional writing that after the fact than how I was on the last day, because the last day really was full of community camaraderie. Like, everybody was there having a good time supporting the last day, but there was also some heartbreak woven into that. But it was busy. I was not there first thing in the morning, but I had friends that were there and tried to get like one of the wristbands for the last showing. So they gave out special wristbands for the last show for guests, because as we know, they are doing, I think it's today, they're doing a cast member farewell show for Hollywood Studios cast members that get to see the show one last time today. So the last showing for guests on Saturday, they handed out wristbands in the morning, and then everybody was just hanging out in the land. Pizza Rizzo throughout the courtyard. There was a line all day long to get a photo in front of Miss Piggy Fountain. Like, we waited 20 minutes to take a photo in front of it, which was just so strange because I was just there just a week before, and late at night the land was empty. And so to see that land just so full of life was just kind of sad, because obviously fans came out across the country in some cases, or probably around the world even, to come say goodbye to it. So Heather Henson was also there. I just kind of saw her from afar, Jim Henson's daughter. And I don't know, it was a really good just kind of vibe going around. I went to 2 of the shows during the day, and the standby line said 60 minutes, but it was really like 30 minutes of walking, and we got to walk through the extended queue, which was actually really cool because I hadn't
around the
seen it since
building?
I was a kid. And they have all the parody Muppet movie posters, like the Bride of Frog and Schween, and Star Chores, and Pirates in the Amphibian or something. This is so funny. silliness. Lots of like googly eyes plastered everywhere. It was just cool to see that part unlocked and walk through it because we hadn't for years. Everything was kind of sun faded, so it was a relic to walk through there. But anyways, the standby queue actually started in Muppet Courtyard, but then stretched back to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Like we were alongside Rise of Resistance and then walking back in. So it seemed long, but it really wasn't. But then sitting through the actual shows was just... It was really beautiful. Like everybody was reciting all of the lines, and it was kind of like an episode of Seinfeld. No, but it was fun because it was the last day. I would hate it on a normal day because I hate being like in the stretching room at Haunted Mansion.
Actually stretching, yeah.
But
I'm definitely a Waldorf or Statler because I'm always just like,
yeah.
Shut up!
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't every line. It was just like the big lines.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Sam Eagle's glorious 3-hour finale kind of
or
thing.
this thing. Oh!
Yeah.
Or
some of us were like booing Sam Eagle when he was putting Bean Bunny down, like, boo, how dare you leave Bean Bunny alone.
That's cute.
Boo, hiss.
Yeah. But then every time a big character came on the screen, or like when Sweetums came out, it was like an episode of Seinfeld where people were applauding and cheering with every character on the screen. And then I ended up going to like the second to last showing or third to last showing of the night. And that was a lot more, I guess, emotional. There were definitely cast members along the side near the exit crying. One of them, there was like 2 more shows that night, but she was saying that this was her very last show and she was just very emotional. And then leading out there to the Muppets Courtyard, there was a crowd of people. Like there was barely any room to walk, but someone started singing Rainbow Connection very quietly, and then slowly the rest of the crowd like started singing too. People put their phones up in the air and recording, or put like flashlights up in the air and stuff. It was really sweet. So finally said goodbye. Like I said, it didn't hit me until yesterday, and I don't think it'll hit me like fully until I'm back in Hollywood Studios and I see the Muppets area blocked off.
I saw the wall up already.
Yeah, the planners. It's sad because it's one of those attractions that I thought would be
a physical wall.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the planners were because they had the cast
after.
members to watch it the day after.
Oh, wow.
So
the wall's actually up?
there's a physical wall up now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw it this morning. I saw a picture of it this morning.
Yeah.
They
Wow.
wasted time, did they?
Yeah.
Don't be trying to scale any walls or anything like that. We don't want to be bailing you out of Disney jail.
Yeah, I will not
Desperately
be
screaming and pulling
I will not
at the.
be. I just hope that some pieces end up in the park in the future. Yeah,
Oh,
for
the
real.
fountain. My gosh. I'm like,
The fountain
please do
especially,
something
like
with the
that is so
fountain.
iconic. And back in the day, remember when like Fozzie was on it too?
Yeah.
They were
There's
like part
all
of
kinds
the
of stuff in
ledge.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gonzo was on it. So yeah, I hope
They should like
pieces
assemble
come
that
back.
at like a Pop Century or something like that. I know Pop Century or not Pop Century. What's the one? It's movies, right? That has all the
All-Star
giant,
movies.
yeah, the
Pop
things
Century
like
does too.
It could go
Yeah.
easily somewhere like
70s
that.
Pop
yeah,
Century, yeah.
I'd be into that.
I know. So yeah, I'm sad about it. I feel like I've made my feelings really clear about how I feel about the Muppets during my time here. But yeah, I know we're talking about what's to come, but this was the last piece of Jim Henson's work ever. And so regardless of what's happening in the future, this was like the final chapter on his dream of, this being in the park. So
Did you see his?
it's
Did you meet his
regardless.
daughter?
I didn't meet her. I mentioned that she was there. I just saw her from afar, and that was really cool that she came out for
Yeah.
that. I know she doesn't really partake in Hollywood things, so real Hollywood things, not Hollywood Studios.
It's exclusively Hollywood Studios
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that was cool that she came out, and she's like the lead on like his legacy, like his creative legacy, like the Jim Henson
Oh, nice.
Legacy
didn't
Fund
know
or
that.
something. I forget what it's called. I'm sorry, but yeah, she's like, she said something like something about this being like his final chapter, and just like this was his final creation. Just to hear his daughter say that was, yeah, it's sad. Yeah,
I think it's cool she went though. Yeah,
yeah,
it's nice.
It is
Yeah.
nice.
Well, yeah. Well, as they say, as one attraction closes, so does another one close and then reopen, retheme. That old saying. With the closing of Muppet Vision 3D officially, we did get a video from the one and only Kermit the Frog saying that Rock and Roller Coaster starring the Muppets is officially opening at Disney's Hollywood Studios in Walt Disney World in 2026. This exciting new take on the fan favorite thrill ride will blend high-speed twists Not plot twists, I don't think, but just regular twists. With the Muppets' signature humor and chaos. Disney says fans of Aerosmith can keep on rocking out to their tunes in the super stretch limo through 2025, and then the Muppets shall take control in 2026. This leads me to believe that there's going to be very minimal retheming, honestly. I mean, I didn't really expect much more than maybe like the new pre-show and a change of the audio on the ride vehicle, but what do you... It just feels a little lackluster to me,
Yeah,
like in terms of that. Like, I mean, I didn't, like I said, I didn't expect a lot, but it almost feels like a little bit of a downer.
Feels like a Band-Aid.
Like, yeah, that
Yes.
it's happening that quick, right?
Yes, and I think this is something that they've been looking to replace the Aerosmith theming. So the Muppets truly feels like a Band-Aid. Like, oh, we're taking them away, but they're still here at the park, and kind of like, you know, two birds, one stone kind of thing, where they're taking care of the old theming and replacing it with the new. I feel like realistically, what we're going to get is a new pre-show with that same music studio theming.
Yeah.
So there'll be like the Muppets instruments in there, like the Electric Mayhem's instruments, and then the screen will be Muppet screens. I don't think we're getting any actual Muppet action at all. And then we'll see like, you know what I mean.
Just
You know what I mean.
save
yeah,
it-
we know what you mean, girl.
Save it for the OnlyFans, yeah.
Come on.
Should we make a show called Muppet Action?
Yes.
But you know
It'll go
what?
off very well.
What I like about this is it is happening fast. 'Cause
You like that
everything
it's
else-
happening fast?
Well,
Everything seems to take
everything
like 5
takes
years.
forever. Just give
Yeah.
me something new quicker.
Okay,
Yeah.
also,
I'm
And
just
look
hoping
at,
and
for
that's
quality.
okay.
I mean, maybe look at what Universal did with Epic Universe. Is it possible? I don't think it is, but is it possible that they could like do something good and it, like maybe there's this pressure now to get stuff done quicker?
I don't know.
I mean, the Encanto thing we said is opening up sometime
27.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometime. No one confirmed the date.
was 2027.
Okay, it was 27.
Yeah. So, I mean, but that's that's pretty quick for Disney. So maybe they have a fire underneath them.
And it definitely looks like the limos are being repainted because they keep showing that
Yeah.
Yeah, the art with the limo
very
in it.
colorful limo. And
Right.
then some
So
decor in the ride part, like the dark ride part, but we'll get like some updated
New
LA
neon
iconography.
I
like,
think my
Yeah.
fear is that everything is going to be like stickers and images, and like
Yeah.
you said,
Yeah.
but I guess like think about Muppet Vision 3D is that other than we had Sweetums, we had Waldorf and Statler. I keep thinking that's like the new Law and Order SVU characters, and I'm like, I'm like, wait, is that Mariska and Statler? But they had them
Bunny,
and Bean
the
Bunny
penguins.
and the chef. And the
19
penguins.
animatronics. What are they doing with those?
And that's where I'm like, I hope some of that, I hope there's 3-dimensional representation of the Muppets and it's not all like a cartoon version of them everywhere, you know?
I
Because
hope
the
so,
ride
too.
moves so quick, you know,
it has to
that
be the pre-show, right?
it's got to be pre-show, but I'm also thinking like the exterior, maybe you'll have like animal hanging from the guitar strings or something like that.
Yeah.
Because it's still probably going to be the giant guitar.
yeah.
Right.
The car upside down, maybe they could all be out there. They'll be in the car upside down or something.
Oh.
So I'm thinking is like, I want to see a lot of physical, wherever
Yeah.
they can put it. I want to see it. But yeah, we're not going to see them. It is wild. You brought it up earlier, though. The merchandise thing is wild to me because when I was in Panama City, we went to this like flea market thing and there was somebody who had like a whole booth set up. It's like this, you know, like they do it in Daytona too. It's like a big indoor sort of thing.
Yeah.
And this one girl had a bunch of Muppet stuff at it. So I went over and looked, and I was just like, oh, you know, it's closing. And she was like, yeah. And she was like, I tried to look for more stuff when I was there, and I couldn't find a single pice of Muppet merchandise. And I said, you know, it's crazy because when I went when I went with Hannah earlier in the week before it had closed, I actually went twice. I went with somebody else, my friend Ken, and I was like, well, I'll go again. And it was interesting watching it with Owen because he genuinely laughed at a couple
Yeah,
of
that
things,
was
and it put a
just
different
great.
perspective for me on it.
Yeah, that sucked. My kid has never paid attention to that show.
That
Never
sucked. I
will-
hate to hear his laughter.
Well, I mean, yeah, it made me sad because, yeah, he's never really gotten that much out of the show. He normally won't wear the 3D glasses. That kid sat down. I think he was acting out for
We were
you.
front row. Yeah.
We were front row. He wore the glasses the entire time. He was, like, cackling,
Aw.
beginning to end. And, like, he can't, he calls it the Waka Waka movie because he loves Fozzie.
Aw.
So he can't stop talking about the Waka Waka movie. And I'm like, oh, God, why did you have to fall in love with
over.
it 3 days
It's over,
before
Owen.
it closed? So I'm like, I'm not ready to go back to studios for a long time because I don't want to have to tell them the Waka Waka movie is gone forever.
And I wanted to, when we did that, I was like, all I could think about it was my God, I really wish I could have gotten like a Kermit plush or, a Miss Piggy or something at one, this was probably like right before COVID or something. I remember I was there with Craig, and Craig is such a Muppet aficionado that he was they had at one time had a line of them there, and I remember being like, oh look, they have all the Muppets like plushes, I can't believe it. And he was like, wow, they're not right, the scale isn't right, blah. And I was like well, are they puppets? And he was like, no, don't even get me started. And then of course I go to his house and they're all on the couch lined up, and I was like, this son of a bee, son of a bean, talked me basically out of them and then bought them all.
The amount of people on the last day that had the Pillow Pet Kermit, because that was like the most recent Muppet merchandise that everybody
the
could
sleepy
get.
one,
And he doesn't look like Kermit because his mouth is closed.
I want to correct you. It's called a Cuddlies.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
With a Z. Yeah, hard Z on that one.
Yeah. People had them like strapped around their bag or like they were holding them. There was a good 10 people within immediate view around the Grand Avenue area on the last day. Like that was the big item recently, and I'm like, where's the rest of it? I remember when they first announced Rock and Roller Coaster with the Muppets changeover, they did say there would be more Muppets merch coming to Sunset Boulevard, so it sounds like one of the outdoor kiosks might have something soon. I mean, that's been a while now. I totally imagine there'd be something by the time Muppet Vision closed. I was surprised there was no farewell merch or anything. So
I almost got, there was a Kermit plush in the bag, like in the bag it was like mailed in or whatever. And she wanted $40 for it. There was a Kermit and a Piggy, and I didn't really like the Piggy, and I was like, well, I want them both. And I was like, if I can't have them both, then I won't have any. And I didn't end up getting it, but I did take pictures of it. It's in my phone, and I forgot to text you because I was literally like, I'm going to text my friend all these pictures. And then I got distracted by a
I'll just
Gremlins
tell her
book.
on the live show.
Yeah, no, I did end up buying stuff. Guess what? Finally found that typewriter. I found a typewriter for Kim.
Way.
It literally had a piece of paper in it, and it's the kind like the suitcase
Take
kind.
it for a test drive?
It's got
cool.
and it's like a turquoise color.
Wait, you were looking for a typewriter?
I was looking for a typewriter
I
for my
have
best friend
two.
for Lord help me.
Oh my
One's
God.
She wasn't
turquoise
here on
and
that
one's
show.
gray.
Help me Jesus. One's
So
what?
It's one's turquoise colored and one is gray.
Are they the suitcase kind? What are they?
We got a little suitcase.
Oh, see, I'm
well.
well, there we go.
Yeah,
I
it
got
wasn't
it.
meant to be.
It worked.
Yeah, still works.
It's the original iMac. I feel like is what it reminded me of. Where I was like
Yeah.
the
like a Smith.
the
and a
iWriter.
turquoise.
I
Yeah.
had the orange.
That's what we did in school. We had typing class in school back in the day.
Well, when you traveled through time,
Yes.
you and Christopher Reeve used to have them.
Yes. You'd sit
What's
there
the
and
girl from? What's the girl's name from Little House on the Prairie?
Lori Ingalls?
Lori. Yeah. Okay,
Lori
that's what I was gonna
Ingalls
say. Lori Ingalls.
Melissa Gilbert?
I thought I was making it up. Okay. So here was my. Sorry, I had another little paragraph. It disappeared on the page. It's just a little thing I wanted to add in because I thought this would have been a cute idea to incorporate the Muppets better. So at Disneyland, and I know we have the Frozen sing-along here at Hollywood Studios. At Disneyland in the Fantasyland area, they have that royal court thing where they like tell the stories of like Beauty and the Beast, Tangled, Frozen, but it's like two comedic narrators, and then they'll like reenact it, and sometimes the characters will come out, but then sometimes they'll have guests involved or something. Would that not have been the perfect thing for the Muppets? Because, hello, Muppets Wizard of Oz, Muppets Treasure Island, Muppets Haunted Mansion. They do that. That's
Movie
inherently
like
Muppet.
story retelling,
Yeah, and I'm like, wouldn't that have been such a fun attraction? Whereas the Muppets telling other Disney movies or
Okay,
something.
and I'm also confused about the villain show that's right beside Rock and Roller Coaster. Like, that's a weird area now.
Yeah, you
I'm
can't
like,
use the
why?
bathroom over there.
Yeah, that's a whole other story. But if you, let's say you were doing the Muppet Courtyard thing, that's a done deal. You're changing Rock and Roller Coaster. Why couldn't you have made the villain show something Muppet related and then made that a whole new Muppets Courtyard? Like, I'm a little confused about how, like, you have Tower of Terror, you have Muppets, the roller coaster, you have this villain show. Like, nothing in this park makes sense at all.
Yeah.
And I think it was Carly Wiesel was talking about all the changes that we're going to talk about coming to California Adventure, and how is California Adventure not California Adventure anymore. And I'm like, what is Hollywood Studios? What is this? I mean, I don't know. It's kind of a funny, it's almost like the same thing in a way, because I mean, I guess you still have like the theming of Sunset Boulevard, but other than that, it's like, oh, it's, you know, Disney movies. I'm like, everything's Disney movies. That's every park is Disney movies. Like, then what's the point?
Like the big 30th anniversary when they announced that the park
was there
is
with
moving.
you.
Yes, I remember.
Oh.
They're moving away from the movie making magic theme and going into like you're stepping into the movies with Toy Story Land, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Indiana Jones is still there.
Right.
Star Tours, bless it, don't take it away. Still has that backside of an AT-AT that looks like it's a movie set.
Right, yeah.
And then you have like, okay, like the storytelling of Tower of Terror and Rock and Roller Coaster on Sunset Boulevard. But then beyond that, now you have Sunset Showcase, which is a soundstage with a villain show. That's not stepping into movies.
Yeah,
so
that's
it's weird how they've kind of changed that, and now it's just like a hodgepodge once again, and I don't know.
I think it's just like a marketing distraction of like Disney's like, listen, we're storytellers at Disney, and this park's about living in our story. Okay, got
Story
it.
living.
Thank you.
Well,
Oh yeah, buy a house.
It's becoming a little imbalanced too to me, because now it's become a very show heavy park, which is great because not everybody can do rides or wants to do rides and things like that, but it's just this sort of.
That's not what people buy tickets for anymore.
I know. I can't speak to the villain show because I tried to watch it, and I was told walking up to the robe, the last show was at 6:00, and I said, "Well, it's 5:50," and they were like, "The last show's full," and I'm like, "Well, why didn't you lead with that?" And then I said, "Can I use the bathroom?" And they said no. I had like 3 bad interactions with one cast member in a row, and I was just like, "This is ridiculous." Like, it was one of those things where I was like, having, as somebody who used to work in a 5,000 seat stadium show at Hollywood Studios, I was kind of like, this ain't how you do the ropes, son. I was like, that's where I'm at in life now. Like, but regardless,
it happens to all of us.
I know, we all get there eventually, I guess. Teresa, any more yeehaw? Or something?
References. Now seems like the appropriate
something
time.
from maybe something from the Oregon Trail.
Something from the past. Let's talk about my new favorite movie now.
When Pa used to put me in
Postmortem.
the
Have you
back
seen
of that wagon in my what is it called?
Postmortem.
What is it? A show?
It's a movie, Hungarian movie.
Oh
Whoa,
my God!
what?
What?
Wow.
You know she listens to K-pop too.
Yeah.
She's
Why
trending.
can't I be
No.
international?
All the things.
Why can't I
Why
be
can't I
multiple
enjoy
things?
it all?
Yeah.
Ryan
Woman.
Clavin, why can't I enjoy it all?
I'm not shaming you.
Jeez. Get
Like,
a
she
grip
can-
on it. I'm old. I've lived. I want to see it all.
I want to see
Traveling
it.
in
I've
my
lived my
In your
life.
time machine.
Jeez.
Yeah. And my,
Yeah.
All right. Well, Hannah alluded to it a second ago. We're going to talk about Disneyland a little bit more, and that is that. Let me see. I got a little slide to throw up here. As we've got some new details on the Coco attraction, Avatar, and these Disneyland Forward projects that are a part of the Disneyland Forward project. I feel like that's the capital, and then all these other projects are or that's the umbrella, and these are all under it.
I'm
so
getting a little confused about Disneyland Forward. I'm going to be honest. I'm like,
I think it's an all-encompassing term.
yeah,
Just like,
again, it's just like,
anytime there'll be like
I don't know.
they'll be like like one like sometimes they like replace a brick and it's got the little thing on like Disneyland Forward.
yeah, exactly.
We're taking a bench away.
Yeah.
Disneyland Forward.
It's a new term for construction.
I'm going to
like-
start calling myself Hannah Forward.
It's like Epcot transformation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. I
we're
waited
still
all this
waiting.
time for that butterfly to pop out, for the caterpillar to turn into the butterfly, and a caterpillar came out.
Heimlich came
You're
out.
like, yeah, yeah.
Tiny little wings.
Oh,
I'm a
beautiful
butterfly.
Oh my God, that voice that we do, you guys, is Heimlich.
I just thought that.
Hannah.
Oh, Hannah, Joel, you're
Sorry.
so funny.
Forgot we were live for a
Beautiful
second. I
butterfly.
apologize.
Okay, so the Coco attraction, let's talk about that one first. We know where it's going now. It's going to be built near the Paradise Gardens Park and Pixar Pier in the back of the park over there where the entrance from Pixar Place Hotel is. And it's being built in an area that is currently being used for backstage operation. Construction is scheduled to begin this fall. So again, Teresa's happy. This one's going a little bit faster than I expected. I'm looking forward to it.
I've already traveled into the future and seen it. It's
I've already
beautiful.
seen it.
It's already seen it.
You guys are gonna love it.
I'm gonna love it.
I think this one's dark ride, maybe, or it is a
boat
dark ride.
ride.
I meant a boat ride. Yeah, sorry. In my
Yeah.
head, I was like, I want to be a boat right now. But when I originally saw the news, I thought they were saying they were getting rid of Paris Gardens, and I was kind of like, oh, that's crazy. They always have like the Encanto, and then the holiday like fiestas are back there and stuff like that. And I feel like for me, it's like a little unsung area.
It is,
like,
yeah.
you know, I like that area. You never know what you're gonna find back
I've
there.
had some
drinks.
wins over there.
The
I
band's
mean,
back there.
Yeah, there's lots of seating, shaded.
Kind of incredible how like they're getting an all new ride and not taking away another ride.
Wow,
Like I
they can do that?
legitimately say I'm sorry. That's
In Disneyland of all
Disneyland.
places.
They can do that.
Disneyland somehow making
They're like,
space for all new rides.
They have a small space too.
Yeah.
They're like, we have 3 square feet, and we're gonna give you a whole new land. Done.
Right?
Not taking
and not we're
anything
gonna take
away.
anything
Oh,
away, right?
and the third thing Walter going to talk about is something I was like kind of shocked about when they said it. I know it's not the big news of it all, but we got to talk about those big blue dummies for a second here. Sorry,
God.
sorry. Some people love it, and it's okay.
Who?
I'm not
You
judging
know what? Raise your hand. Show your face.
Show your
Who is an Avatar fan?
Name and social security numbers.
Yeah, I need to know though. But like,
My
who?
boyfriend.
What's Avatar?
But like, big enough to justify.
Avatar?
I don't know,
No.
2 lands and all these movies that like I'm gonna be dead before all these movies come out.
I've
I
yet
guess
to
I need
see
to
one,
introduce
so-
my kid to them.
You haven't seen any of them?
I fell asleep during that movie too, and
Watch
it was
Pocahontas.
3D.
Oh, Ferngully.
Yeah,
You
for
wanna
Kelly.
watch
Yeah,
Ferngully.
Ferngully.
Ferngully. Oh my gosh, we had that on VHS.
Yeah, I'd like a Ferngully land. I'd like a Pocahontas land.
Well, Ferngully isn't Disney, but
We'll buy it.
Pocahontas Land,
Tiger.
I think they took that land, and then the white man built the
gosh.
park. Yeah.
We had Pocahontas in.
Sorry, too cheeky for
We
some
actually
reason.
technically had Pocahontas where Avatar is.
Oh, I know, and I
And she
used
had
to
her
love that
little
show. All
show
those
in
little
Mini
animals.
Mickey.
Oh
Yep.
my gosh, fantastic! Where's Pocahontas? "Colors of the Wind" is one of the best Disney songs ever.
Oh,
Changed
gosh,
my
that makes
mind.
me
She's
cry.
mad.
Yeah.
Okay, ready for this one? If I only knew.
If I never.
Oh,
knew
if I
you.
never knew you.
I was a
But you,
big
I was
Pocahontas fan.
I was a savages, believe in humans.
Okay, maybe that's our.
Okay, so when I was in elementary school, our chorus class
Way back
did
when. Go
a
ahead.
medley of Pocahontas songs. So
Oh.
somebody had a solo.
Oh.
Oh, what was your?
In
song?
1607, they sailed the open sea. I can't remember. It was in that part, but I can't remember what
Did you
part.
do
it
it
was.
like that?
The glory got in gold in the Virginia Company. That's
Yeah,
more
there
what I
you
did.
go.
Do we have a video of that?
God, I hope not.
I
No,
hope
it was
so.
it was pre-video
Please give me
days.
Sandy's phone number.
I was just gonna say,
Oh, no.
Pocahontas
Best
is also celebrating the 30th anniversary this year, and I feel like Disney's kind of like not really
Okay, wait.
playing into the merchandise this year, though.
You are reminding me of something funny that was well, I shouldn't say funny, but at Disneyland's 70th, as part of the 70th, they're doing the cavalcade out there, and you can watch that on our Diz channel. We definitely have it up there. It's youtube.com/wwinfo or youtube.com/@thediz, whatever.
Okay.
Anyway, Pocahontas is on the princess float, but the
yeah.
part when she came to me, she was straight up like doing like this girl was at a
was.
90-degree angle, like
Yeah.
or 180 or something.
I was
She
like,
just
my knees hurt
Like
watching it.
I was like, how does her spine bend this way? Like she was committed
'Cause she is a-
committed.
Queen. Okay, give me more.
I mean, literally, I think she's a big.
It's
whatever.
complicated. Watch the
whatever.
yeah,
sequel.
it's complicated.
Watch the
Doesn't-
sequel.
doesn't
Doesn't
end
go
well
as-
for
as you
really
thought.
any of
She
us.
doesn't end up with that old John Smith. Sounds like a fake name, if you ask me. Dumb joke. But the okay. So again, skeptical. Avatar. You seen it? There's the third one coming out, maybe in the year 2031. I have no idea. I think it's actually this Christmas. Isn't that wild? I think there's a third one and then another one like 2 years. I don't. Who cares?
All right, let
Or
me
the
see the
Christmas
comments. Who in the
special.
live show or
So
who's
there's a couple
saying-
people saying that
And it's
They
fine.
enjoy
I'm
it.
not going to knock you. I mean, the
Yeah.
second movie was
It is-
so long.
it
though,
is
so
technically a
long.
financial success, so there are
Yeah.
fans out there, and I know it's really big internationally. I think
That's a
Japan
good.
has
That's
We'll
a
take it
that's a
over
good
there.
point
there's
too.
actually like a national park, like a national park that has
The Ikron?
figurines or statues of what are they called? What are
what?
the blue people called?
Navi.
Navi, yes.
The
Nerd.
blue people Smurfs.
Yeah, the Smurfs. There is a Smurfs movie coming out this summer too. So anyway, we know that Avatar is coming to Disneyland, but you know what I've noticed a lot? Well, two important things here. I'm just going to say the big one first. It's putting Mike and Sully out on the street. Monsters, Inc., Mike and Sully to the Rescue is going to close in early 2026, confirming that Avatar is going to be built. The transformation is going to be built in and around the Hollywood area, like the Hollywood backlot area of Disney's Hollywood Studios. Oh my God, I'm having a stroke. Disney California Adventure.
In the
Thanks,
Hollywood
Grandma.
Studios section of DCA.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
Not to be confused.
I'm all wrapped up here. But yeah, and I mean, listen, I'm happy because the rumor for a long time was that this was going to be right up against California Adventure, and it was going to replace. And I'm really happy about that. But it is interesting. So I don't think this area is going to be even remotely obviously not remotely as large as the Animal Kingdom one, but thinking about it like tucked into that corner area of the park. And I'm assuming it's going to expand a little bit further backwards, because if you're not familiar, like Mike and Sully to the Rescue is on like this like side of a park, but it's kitty cornering up against like it's the corner of the park. And on the other side of that is the street, is like Harbor Boulevard. Harbor?
Yeah.
I can't remember which one's on which side, but and so I'm like, it's interesting. They'll probably only have one ride if they have a ride. They keep not saying there's a ride, but
come on, there's gotta be a ride.
The original announcement showed a vehicle in water, and so but they now keep saying like destination or. They don't say the word attraction anymore. I thought that was.
I think it's just their marketing. It's a whole world that you can experience and become one with the Na'vi. You can touch tails in California.
Touch tails.
Become one with.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh man.
Looking forward to that.
Oh my.
Jeez.
Well, the thing I'm more excited for is this cool bridge. So we have some more Disneyland.
Yeah, I'm excited about this.
More Disneyland Forward details with Disney. I wrote Disney in my script. With Disney saying a new parking structure and transportation hub is coming to the east side of property using part of the current Manchester Cast parking lot. That's all planned out over there. The new development will add around 6,000 parking spaces along with dedicated areas for shuttles, ride shares, and security screening. So that security perimeter is going to extend further back now. It's also going to include direct access from a direct access point from Disney Way, helping to improve overall traffic flow throughout the resort area. As shown in the concept art, if you're watching this, the project includes a pedestrian bridge over Harbor Boulevard, offering guests a new esplanade, arrival experience, and convenient public access to and from Harbor. The extensive construction of this new arrival experience is set to start in the fall of 2026. This is going to be so. Like, if you're watching this, the monorail runs along Harbor Boulevard at one point. The pedestrian bridge is a major win for the city of Anaheim, the people of Anaheim, the guests visiting Disneyland, because that one intersection right in front of like where the Disneyland Resort sign is or was, is
chaos.
Yeah, especially like when a park is opening or closing, and and it's like crazy. But this, I feel like look at that where the sign is. It adds a little more grandiose, a little more elegance to this side of the park.
I'm
the entrance.
really excited about the sign more than I think I should be. I'm very excited.
Well, there is a sign over there right now that says Disneyland Resort. It's just like small, right?
Yeah, the blue they look like party hats, like the weird like stars coming out of a magic hat kind of look to them. They look kind of outdated.
That is right. And this one's more in line with like the
original.
It reminds me very like Disneyland Hotel.
Yes.
It definitely fits in with the overhaul they've been doing on the throughout downtown Disney, adding this like mid-century modern feel
which looks
throughout
so
it.
good.
Oh my God, it's so good. Yeah. It's one of those where you're like, it really should have been this all along, and they should have just stayed.
I like that they're doing this, and it's not really a direct financial benefit for Disney, because that's where a lot of the Good Neighbor hotels are. So it's making it, I think, like more accessible and nice for families to visit Disneyland, regardless of whether you're staying at Disney or not. So I think it's just nice. I feel like Disneyland cares.
Good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
I saw it in 2030. It worked. Really
It looked good. It looked great from that spaceship.
Exactly.
It looked really good.
Did you touch
I
tails
took
in
advantage of it.
California?
Huh?
Did you touch tails in
Yeah, I did.
in Avatar Land?
Yeah.
Good.
I am excited to see some movement on the Disneyland Forward projects, though. That is nice. It feels like it's going to be a challenging experience for them out there being so landlocked and things, but it's nice to see this sort of start to stretch that park out a little bit further, a little bit more. I have felt like the security area, I think this will really greatly improve that, because if you're somebody who's ever stayed at an off-site hotel and you walk up there, I know we always talk about we love the convenience of being able to walk up there. I know that Chloe really enjoys the Howard Johnson that's kind of adjacent across the street. And we've done reviews in the past about other ones over there, and it's just one of the biggest struggles about that experience is like, how many times I've gone with Craig and he does the rope drop, and I'm like, the line is going to be terrible. Like, so there's the line for security will stretch down the street, and it just becomes very like claustrophobic.
Yeah.
So I do look forward to that kind of getting, taken care of, because I feel like in this day and age, you got to think, if this is your first visit to Disney or Disneyland or anything, it becomes like this is the first experience you have going in. And so, like, I feel like that's a lot of pressure on the security people. I will say they genuinely seem a little bit friendlier sometimes than the Walt Disney World ones. Not knocking all the ones here, because I've gotten some really great cast members here too.
Oh, yeah.
But overall,
I remember my first trip to Disneyland.
Yeah.
And
The year 1832.
The year was,
It was still an orange grove.
Actually, I think
I actually delivered Walt. I was
I was the midwife.
Yeah, I was the
think it
midwife
was-
on duty that night.
It was 1984.
Yeah.
And it was just, you park your car and you walk in. There was no California Adventure, and it was just...
God, to see that parking lot must have been cool.
know.
It was just, looking back on it, because then I didn't go for a few years, quite a few years. And the next time I went, I was overwhelmed by the change.
Yeah.
Because I remembered it being very simplistic and very, okay, now I'm just walking in and I'm here.
Yeah.
And it was a beautiful thing, and it made me cry. Now it just makes me cry trying to get around. But it's all good.
Relatable.
Everywhere or just Disneyland?
Everywhere.
Okay. So I was like,
Bedroom
what?
to the bathroom in the morning, I cry.
Oh, God.
It's a weeper every day.
We got another one. Everyone, put on your study glasses, because Chloe's going to take us away. We got Disney's released a new economic impact report, and for the first time ever, they put the two. Usually they do this for like Walt Disney World's impact report on Florida or whatever, and then California's on Anaheim, and this time they did a total to really be like, look what we do for you people.
Yeah, right?
But yeah.
Get a job with Disney.
Get a job.
No. So the Walt Disney Company has released an economic impact report showcasing its significant influence on the U.S. economy. The report highlights $67 billion in total economic activity and more than 400,000 jobs supported across the country, emphasizing Disney's role as a major driver of employment, tourism, and business growth. This report was prepared by Tourism Economics, which is a branch of Oxford Economics, and is now accessible on Disney's new dedicated website, which is economicimpact.disneyexperiences.com. And there's kind of like
I thought it was whatwedoforyouppeople.com.
Yeah. There's kind of like interactive infographics. It's fun to scroll through and see the numbers pop in and out, but I'm just going to go through some of the highlights if you'd
Yes, please.
prefer that. So Florida is Disney's largest economic footprint. In Florida, home to Walt Disney World, as we know, Disney is credited with generating $40 billion in economic activity during fiscal year 2022. The company directly...
Oh my God, 1 year. That's
and
crazy.
indirectly supports 263,000 jobs in the state, making up a major portion of Central Florida's tourism and hospitality sectors. This includes both Disney employees and third-party workers, such as those in transportation, retail, and hospitality businesses that benefit from Disney-driven tourism. Does that include us?
Yeah, I guess,
Right?
yeah.
Hi, thanks, Disney.
Yeah.
Then California's contributions. Disneyland Resort's presence in Southern California has also made a substantial impact, contributing $11.7 billion to the state's economy and supporting 81,000 jobs. These figures reflect both direct employment within Disneyland and broader effects on nearby cities such as Anaheim, including hotels, restaurants, and local services that benefit from Disney visitors. Disneyland Forward. And then support for small businesses and tax contributions. The report emphasizes Disney's connection with more than 8,500 small businesses across the country. These partnerships span industries such as construction, food and beverage, merchandise, logistics, and creative services, and travel planning? Question mark, right? That includes us too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The company is also one of the largest taxpayers in regions where it operates. In fiscal year 2022, Disney paid over $143 million in taxes to the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District, in addition to other local and state taxes. What does this mean for the future? Well, Disney Parks
Teresa?
has invested. Oh, yes, please pull out your crystal ball. This report follows Disney's planned $30 billion of investments in domestic capital projects through 2033. Upcoming developments include, we've talked about them, the largest expansion in Magic Kingdom history with new areas inspired by Cars and Disney villains, a tropical America's Land coming to Disney's Animal Kingdom, a Monsters Incorporated themed land in the works for Disney's Hollywood Studios, RIP Muppet Vision, new Coco and Avatar experiences planned for Disneyland Resort, and the expansion of Avengers Campus at Disney California Adventure.
You said Coco. Funny. You said it like Glenn Coco.
Coco.
You're like, and
That's my
Coco.
nickname to my,
Coco.
like, the kids
Coco.
in my life, so I must have said it like, Coco.
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 Coco. You know, it's funny. It's crazy to see these numbers. I do appreciate that to do it because there's that, you know, I don't know. There was a little bit of a back and forth going on with our current governor and this company for a while. And I always, you know, as somebody who lives in this area, and again, like Chloe has pointed out, somebody who we make our jobs are in the travel planning industry with Dreams Unlimited Travel, about helping plan vacations and things like that. And we've, you know, Chloe was born and raised in Florida. Teresa's been here forever. Hannah's new, I guess. Ish. But
I mean, okay, Disney paid for my master's degree.
well,
And look at me now.
yeah, look at you using that.
You have a master's.
Sorry, Disney. You should have cut that fat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm shocked as you
I'm
are.
like real smart.
No
No comments, please. I'm sorry.
If you've spent some extended time in Florida and Central Florida, like, or around different parts of Florida, you can. It's very clear to me, as someone who's lived here for over 15 years, like, the impact that Disney had on this state is this state would not be what it is without Disney. I mean, I know Miami is down toward the bottom of Florida, and that's a completely different impact that had. Yeah, world there. But like without Disney, the rest of this state is like.
It's like Christmas, Florida. It's just a swamp.
Well, yeah, it wouldn't have been developed, and that's the thing is I look at a lot of places I've been, and it sort of all started like it's all very 50s oriented a lot in a lot of places here, especially in like downtown Orlando and like Winter Park area and stuff like that. And I just think it was like really Disney where it really started. It still doesn't even feel like it's moving as far forward as it should, but I think about the roadways that we have, the reason why I-4 is being improved, you know, stuff like that. God, don't even get me started on I-4. But
I've lived here 8 years, and it's changed drastically since I've lived here. So, I mean, to your
it has
point.
for me, too. I've been here, 18 years? It's crazy. And you think
wait, what year did you move here?
I don't know, 07, 08?
Oh, I moved in 07, too. That's so funny.
Did you?
Yeah.
But it's just... Yeah, I remember seeing you.
Yeah, I saw you. I saw you on the way. I waved at you. Don't remember? I was like, there he is.
But I think
with your
about-
moving
You're
trucks.
living your life out of order, so I don't know.
I am. I come, I go. It's all.
Call
it's all
me
the
Eric
same.
Bana, and I'll call
Right.
you the time traveler's wife.
Just
Ooh.
don't make me appear naked anywhere like he did. Okay. So anyway,
She read that movie.
Yeah, she did.
anyway, I like the old Florida
Before Disney.
before Disney.
Oh.
I find it fascinating.
Oh, it's wild.
It's wild and it's fascinating, but I think if Walt had not made this decision, would someone else have stepped in? Would Universal even be here? You know,
I don't think
No,
so.
Universal was.
No.
I'm pretty sure Universal was built because of.
Well, yeah.
They looked at what happened with Disney, and then I
but
mean,
would someone else had come along and done something different? What path would the state have been? Would it be just gators and rednecks and
Yeah.
people be lining up to
Flamingos,
see Swampy out by my house?
beach
Old
trips.
Swampy, you know.
what's Swampy?
Swampy,
you
the world's
remember.
biggest gator.
Oh God, no! I don't want to see
He's just
that.
a few miles from my house. Google him; he's amazing.
Oh, I'm scared. No.
I was surprised before this. I worked like in true Kissimmee, and how many people in this area, like in that area, are like born and raised here. Their families are from here, who also like have nothing to do with Disney.
Yeah.
So there are still. I mean, it's not many people, but it is wild to like hear that story of just like, nope, this is just where my family's from, and
Yeah.
I've been to Disney World one time.
And you'll
Like,
find that I
wild.
noticed that when my kids were in school. Stella started first grade here. She'd come home and we'd be going to Disney a lot.
Yeah.
And she'd say, some of my friends have never been.
You're like, how's that possible?
And they don't,
They take field trips.
right? You get that 8th grade field trip. But yeah, they didn't even do Disney. It had nothing to do with Disney. They was just living their life.
Yep.
And I think that's still true. Out where I'm at now, I would say I might be the only one in the general area.
Well, I do think in the last 15 years, or so, even before that, Disney has basically pushed the people who live and work in the state of Florida can't really, like the medium and average income of the people who work here can't afford to go. Like, I know I'm not saying that in a dismissive way. I'm saying that in a shocking way where like Disney is very much a luxury thing. But if you know anything about Orlando, the Central Florida area is expanding so rapidly since COVID. Like everybody, vacation
Moving
properties,
down.
things like that, moving down. All these things and people being able to work remotely, stuff like that, really is having this crazy impact down here. But before even that influx, the whole, like, a lot of people would be like, well, Florida's cheap, and it's not cheap anymore, but it doesn't pay you like it's not cheap. So that's the thing, is that it's people will say, oh, I can't go to Disney, I can't afford it. It is a diamond sitting in a swamp. If that analogy works for you,
Yes.
like that and
It feels like that,
people
too.
who live in swamps maybe can't afford the diamonds, is what I mean.
Yes.
As somebody who lives in the swamp, if I didn't have this job, couldn't do it.
Speaking for Disney cast members too, Disney.
I couldn't have afforded it when I was a cast member.
No.
That's what I'm kind of going off of.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, this report is cool to see how they're contributing to the overall economy. But like, okay, when are cast members going to get their much needed bump in pay to be able to afford where you have these theme parks in both Anaheim and Orlando? So.
It's sort of that ebb and flow we have with it, where it is cool to see, like you said, the impact, but then also you're like, again, it's a business, it's a corporation. I think it's okay to say you're doing well here, but I'd like to see you also start doing better in these areas, and honestly, I think we may be like pushing toward a change in that sort of type of leadership and things like that penny pinching. I think we are really at a breaking point where I think a lot more business, like I know like Apple reinvests in their employees quite a bit, companies like that. And you did say there are benefits that Disney does offer and that were much easier for you to take advantage of that were very limited when I was there. They would not pay for my college. They would only pay for a college if it had directly related to what your job was there. It wasn't just like a blanketed, you're here and doing this.
So I did the Aspire program in 2019 and 2020, and they've since changed it again because it's all
they change it all the time,
right? Because it's tax related, it's all things like that. So laws and tax laws have changed, so that program has changed. Disney does do a lot for the community in terms of like food banks and our local hospitals and organizations like Make-A-Wish and Give Kids the World. So, I mean, there is, I think, a humanitarian impact to Disney being here. It just, in terms of going to the parks, I think we are the tides are kind of shifting a little bit. And I know, like, we've seen that with summer discounts to come to Disney World because things are expensive across the board. So when things are expensive, you don't have the same discretionary income to come down here on vacation. But they do a lot for the community.
Yeah.
It's just they are a business and we're consumers.
Well, and that's the thing too. And I don't want to, I'm talking about Disney World because we're here and we live in this county, and I don't want to not acknowledge that I know that California cast members have a similar issue, and there was a report a couple of years ago or last year, something like that, about cast members living in cars and that sort of thing. I can't even imagine, because the California rent to me is like insanity. Like I would very much live in California if it was not, well, one, if I wasn't afraid of this like massive earthquake that's long overdue. I wish things like that didn't just eat me alive, because I think I'm very much supposed to be an East Coast person, West Coast person.
Hurricanes don't scare you down here?
Oh, I hate hurricanes. It's literally one. Well,
Yeah.
I hate the humidity. Is really the thing that I don't like, and also I don't like hurricanes. Hurricanes, at least you have, of all the storms, I feel like I'm like it's more scary than a blizzard to me. But it's like not.
Oh, I think so. It's more scary because it's quick. It's over. It's devastating. A blizzard just,
I think it's
it's on par with a tornado to me in the Midwest.
Well, I was gonna say tornadoes scare the
me
hell
the
out of me,
most,
and then it's like tornadoes, earthquakes, maybe earthquakes, tornadoes first, earthquakes second, then we get down to hurricane.
Yeah, because a hurricane you can prepare for.
Yeah.
Usually.
Yeah, tornadoes.
Something with a
instantaneous.
warning is like.
Yeah, give me a warning.
Yeah, because same with an earthquake, it's like it just starts happening, and you're just like. Bleh.
So I kind of.
And then the tsunami after is the thing I'm afraid of too.
I was just going to say really quick, I forgot Disney's building that affordable housing in Central Florida, and I haven't seen any updates on it, but supposedly they're still working on it in Horizons West, and it's going to be 1,400 units, so.
Well,
Something.
I want to keep my eye on that. Hannah, before we go, did you have any discounts for us today?
I do. So we this summer is a great time for, I would say, more like last minute travel to Walt Disney World. Disneyland has some really great deals, and even Disney Cruise Line right now. So I'll make it quick. I would say just head over to dreamsunlimitedtravel.com because there are discounts for each of those destinations. Specifically at Disneyland, you can combine a ticket offer with a room discount that's pretty incredible. So if you're looking to go for 3 or 4 days to Disneyland this summer to enjoy Disneyland's 70th, there's some great deals out there. I know that we also mentioned the Good Neighbor hotels at Disneyland. There are a lot of them. And a lot of those have discounts as well. Things even like stay 4 nights, get the 5th night free, and you can book that through a travel agent. Is a Disneyland package. Walt Disney World is having their Cool Kids Summer going on right now, and so they have
only the cool kids get it.
Only the cool kids. So contact us, and then we'll decide if you're a cool kid or not.
You got to do a Cosmo quiz.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very personal. Send in your applications, and we'll let you know. But there is multiple room discounts. We're starting to see discounts are creeping into fall a little bit. So not necessarily like Halloween time yet, but like
September,
late
definitely,
September,
yeah.
you can come down with a room discount. There's a couple ticket offers. There's a really good Disney Plus room offer right now that has some good savings, like especially later July, early August.
Did you mention the Disney Cruise Line?
Not yet. How about you want to mention it?
No, not really. Go
Oh,
ahead.
dang it. Because I don't have the details pulled up.
Well, I don't either, but I know yesterday I booked a cruise for Disney Cruise Line for August. Mm-hmm. It was a VGT, which is a Veranda Guarantee. Got a good rate on that, but he booked with his Disney Visa and also got a $250 onboard credit from Disney Visa.
Yeah.
And you can stack that with our onboard credit that we give. So he ended up with like $450
Dang,
in
that's
onboard credit, which
That's
is
really good.
a good
That's
deal.
like
yeah.
drinks, merch, and then some still.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Plus, he got a
Yeah.
discount
Power,
on the cruise
whatever.
itself.
Yeah.
So
Right.
different dates, different, in August and September, I think. Definitely, contact Susan at Dreams Unlimited Travel.
She was in the chat earlier.
Susan's
Was she?
good.
I know. She's
Yeah,
always
she's-
pushing me to
yeah.
mention her. I don't know why. She's such a pain.
Get
Ah!
out of here, Susan. No, I'm just
Ah,
kidding.
come on.
No,
You
Susan's
don't
the
mean that. She's
godmother
thorough.
of my
She's good.
latest child, Sophie Bell.
Aw.
That is a cat for anybody who hasn't been watching long enough or listening long
Okay,
enough.
wait, really quick. I want to do a tie-in because we were talking about hurricanes, and then we were
Tie-in.
talking about August, September cruises.
Wrap it up with a tie-in.
So, yep, here we go. Tied up with a bow. So I had a client ask me, not from this area, like, oh, I see this really good deal on Disney Cruise in August, but I'm worried about hurricane season. Hurricane season's from like June to November. So really
It's
like
half the
half
year.
the year
Half
is
the year.
hurricane season.
Yeah.
And knock on wood, although everything in here is like fake
For
wood.
Micah.
Yeah,
It's
I
for
was like,
Micah,
sorry.
but
I didn't pick it out.
I would say, I mean, hurricanes here typically are like, I would say Labor Day weekend, like early September, mid-September
Don't-
seems to be peak, but it is hurricane
Just gonna
season.
jinx us.
And then, okay, here's the thing though, even if you go on a cruise that's affected by a hurricane, usually it works to your advantage. Like Disney is going to take care of you. Either they're going to extend your cruise
Right.
and you get a longer cruise for free, or they like still let you go on the cruise and then give you a big discount towards a future cruise. So I look at it as like an opportunity
I do
actually
too. I do
to
too,
go on
because
the sailings.
getting on the cruise, they're not going to sell it. People think, am I going to be sailing into the hurricane? No.
Yeah,
They're
it's
going to.
just one giant dark cloud on the horizon.
It's not the,
adventure.
you know.
Yeah.
It's like
Side
Johnny,
adventure.
like Captain Jack getting swallowed by the Kraken at the end of the second movie.
No, that doesn't happen. They skirt around it. They make a lot. The thing that where the hurricane's going to affect you is you being able to get here to
Well,
Right.
I was going to say,
There
if
you
the
go.
port's gone, that's one
Oh,
thing.
right. Well, yeah, that too. But get here
Yeah.
or hunker down. Oh God, I'm channeling Kathy there. She used to say that all the time. Oh, hunker down. But to be able to, you have to do that before you get on your cruise or afterwards.
Right.
But it wouldn't deter me from taking a
I
cruise.
wouldn't.
It really
no.
wouldn't.
Yeah.
It'd be like saying I'm not going to Chicago because it might snow. But I want to go to Chicago.
I agree.
Just do it. Do it.
Well, that's where I saw all the tornado warnings in Chicago. They have them in the airport as I go through, and they're like,
Yeah.
tornado area, tornado area. I'm like, well, God. So it was fine. I was there in
Wizard
February.
of Oz,
so. Yeah. And this
See my
Dorothy
sister
will
riding by on a
not be getting
bicycle.
swept up.
I show up on my,
Um,
my bicycle.
Is that it for your discounts?
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's it for the show then, too. If you're watching this live and you wouldn't mind hitting that thumbs up button before you go, I'd really appreciate it, and it helps us out a lot. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in today. Sorry the beginning was a little chaotic. Hopefully it's going to start...
Hey, sorry if you like Avatar. I still love you. You're a little weird, but I still
Wow.
like you.
I love everyone.
I do too.
Peace.
Hannah at Dreams and Limit Travel.
I was just trying to cut out
I'll
your
book
business.
you there. All right. Go ahead.
Yeah, so if you are watching this, if you want to hit that thumbs up button, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel and click that bell. You get notified whenever we publish any sort of new content. We have some dining videos coming out. We have I do want to say to our folks that tune in live, next week and the week after will not be live because next week I will be at Disneyland. And then the following week I will be in Massachusetts to attend some services for my father. And then we'll be back with a live episode. Wait, so hold on. Let me look at that calendar really quick, because if I'm correct in my head,
That'd be July 1st.
July 1st will be the next live episode. But here's the thing. Next Tuesday at 1 p.m. and then the following Tuesday at 1 p.m., there will be Diz Unlimited shows to check out. They will be this podcast to check out. If you are a listener, there will be audio to check out and listen to. We're going to do some conversation-based shows, some discussions. We're going to scour the internet after this. If you are a Patreon supporter, there will be a Patreon, it was like a pre-show, but it's not really going to be a pre-show. It'll be a post-show then, but it's not really a post-show. It's something else.
future.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a show.
something. We got our time traveler. She'll let us know. So all that content is still going to be coming out to you. So we appreciate all of you sticking with us and tuning in for us. And hey, send us some suggestions. What do you guys? What do you want us to talk about? What do you want? Even beyond these 2 weeks, which is I want to know going into the summer. What's some things you need to know that can help you have a better Walt Disney World or Disneyland, Universal vacation? We are here to help all of you and cater that content around you. I know this is our news and discussion episode, but we go into the park sometimes and we want to show you what you want to see, and we want to, do what you want us to do to a appropriate and safe extent. But yes, and I do appreciate everybody's kind words about my father, and appreciate everybody for being here today. So thank you. For those of you listening, when you get the time, if you want to rate and review this podcast, wherever you do that, and you can also leave comments over there. I think you can do it on Spotify. I have been distracted and not checked to make sure if you can do it on other platforms now, but it's new to me. Anyway, you're all great. Thank you for being here. Remember, if you've made it this far into the show, and you're hearing me, text somebody, call somebody you love, and let them know how you feel. And we will see you next time. Bye, everybody.